Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. We 1v1 for you all here on Lost Glider. 1v1 map, I think it's just available in vanilla commentators too at the moment. Let's go for the players, it's an Eastern Front battle. We have Muro, representing the Wehrmacht without a commander choice yet. And representing the Soviet Union, we have Stockholm, the main developer of Spearhead 2 mod at the moment. Going out with a basic rifle command early and going for double conscript. Oh, Lost Glider is an interesting map because I'm not sure it's that suited for Spearhead, but there's actually a lot of cover around, so I think it works fine. Generally, you just need to pick maps with a fair amount of cover, I think, but you can play any map you want, really. I think Spearhead can kind of be adapted to fit most playstyles and most map styles, I guess. So we have a basic 1-1-1 start for Muru, Folks, Grenadier, Pioneer, and Grenadier, so they have a little bit of a mix of everything. Now we just have constant conscripts coming out here for the Soviet Union to secure territory. Which is a pretty basic start for the Soviets, because it does allow them to just get men out the gate and get ground. As you would expect of the Soviet Union. A cannon fire in the background, so this is likely a part of a bigger battle going on in the distance. Little skirmish on the flanks, potentially. And now we have stock coming out with the Fontoviki, some professional soldiers of the Red Army, to help supplement the conscripts. Conscripts are very bad early game, unless you can get a lot of them out and overrun your enemy. We have a second Folks Grenadier coming out here for Modo. Just want some more close range combat, because Folks Grenadier is actually more suited to close range combat than the Grenadier, but without any weapon upgrades, they have the exact same stats and weapons, I believe. It's just the abilities that are different. Ooh, Grenadiers get hit by a grenade there, and the Sapper's now going to overrun them. They have to fall back immediately. Pretty bad start there for the Grenadier, but the Folks and the Pioneers are securing the other flank. The Germans might actually get a fuel before the Soviets do. Montevici is coming down here though, and they might engage with the Folks Grenadiers shortly. And it looks like we have cover being grabbed here by the Sappers. Folks Grenadiers are relocating. Yeah, we had another Folks Grenadier moving up, using the cover to the advantage. Ooh, a squad leader goes down. There's all the conscripts that are running up on him. Sappers did manage to force the Montevici off for a bit. You do see the Folks Grenadiers flanking. Ooh, Molotov on one, folks. You need to focus on the Sappers, I think. They're doing their best with their Kar-98s. Because of the Grenadiers ready to come out again. Still no commander choice from either player. Sandbags being laid quickly by the conscripts. As the Germans prepare for a counterattack, Grenadiers and Folks Grenadiers moving up. And we have some Sappers in the center here. I think a long range for cover to cover fight the Germans have this covered, because conscripts are not that good in cover to cover fighting over long distance. Conscripts have very low aim stats. Well, the German basic infantry I think is pretty competent at long range aiming, so... More Folks Grenadiers coming up. Like to see all the Folks Grenadiers. One conscript down here with a Molotov, I think. But Folks Grenadiers do stop it. One flashy going in under some conscripts there. That might be that squad, indeed. The good counterattack there from the Germans. Even the Sappers coming out on the flank. Where's the Maxim? Maxim is holding up in this building. It's going to be able to intercept the Pioneers here. And the Pioneers don't want to stay in that fight. They're going to get mowed down. They do have an MG42 arriving here for the Wehrmacht. Soviets are securing the southern flank as this goes on. Looks like Stockholm is preparing to blow up some of the terrain here. That's actually a demo charge. Or it might be a trap. Or it might be just... Oh, it's just used to clear the territory. Okay. I think the clear cover could have done the exact same thing, in all honesty. But I guess a demo charge is still okay. Oh, we have a commander choice here. Looks like it is Panzerdivision for Moro and the Wehrmacht. Generally a good choice. Panzer is very versatile and allows you to get heavy panzers late game. While you are a little bit lacking in artillery, I don't think that's much of a problem in a 1v1. Here we have several units. That's the second machine gewehr coming out, another MT42. And that's a clear cover though, to clear the last bit there. Well, Grenadiers have locked down this position for now. MT42 moving around here to cover the center. There's some folks going to use to cover the flank. Some sappers coming up as well against the Fontaviki. Maximus gets some good shots on the folks grenadiers there. The battle are then going towards the Fontaviki. Killing them all! Ooh, very good throw there from Muru. That was getting close here. I don't think MD42 is going to be able to set up. It's setting up on the open. Probably the best choice it has. But here comes the grenade. Lost basically mowed down the sappers and they only lost one guy, so I guess it would have paid off. So the sapper will get away too. That was close. Very close. Well, we have the Germans securing the southern flank here. So we have quite a good of a match setting up here to start. Order coming out for the Soviet Union. We have a command choice. Not yet. We're still thinking and debating what they want to be. They are fighting Panzer, and Panzer is very good in most situations, though. Like, it's very hard to pick something that completely counters it if you don't go tank destroyer, but you can do a lot of stuff against as any Soviet commander, really, because the Soviets are very versatile. Panzer just doesn't have any glaring weaknesses, I think, like a real counter commander. Polska setting up here with their K98s. MD42 set behind this little dome stone. Doesn't really seem like the best place to be in cover there, Wilfried. But Germans pushing up there, and these folks gonna just have to get out of there. I wonder if you're gonna see any unique weapons on the folks Grenadier. MD42 can just keep moving around. This gun is coming out for the Soviet Union. We have a commander choice. It is indeed Tank Destroyer, which is probably the best choice for being like a counter to Panzer, I think. Simply because you get the SU-85 and the SU-100 and stuff like that. Not to manage the ISU. Oh, we have smoke shells coming out from the Soviets. Very smart. And that it's going to force the MT-42 to evacuate.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
That at least buys the Soviets some time. Good use of the smoke shells after all. Who I think, yeah, they're going to throw a grenade assault on the wall there. The pioneers can just move out of the way. And the frag grenades do not do anything to the stone wall. Serves to control the center here. Germans have set up an MG42 inside that building. Just not pointed the right way yet. And the MG42 moving up. Oh, that was a satchel charge. Really smart play there from the Soviet Union. But those sappers might die. No, they might actually get away. Lucky for them. MG42 coming inside the building now, though. And while the first grenadiers keep moving up, grenadiers also moving down to the graveyard. Good cover position here for keeping an eye on the graveyard. MG42 sitting up to cover the graveyard from here. Gonna make it very difficult for the Soviets to stay there. Do have the Maxim and Sysgun. That's actually a small Sysgun. Sis-2. Nice. Keeping an eye on the graveyard too. And another smoke shell coming in. Very smart. I might actually have saved the conscripts there. Siberian squads coming in. A unique recon unit available to Tank Destroyer. Very good at long-range combat. And if you're playing it with winter effects on winter maps, they are immune to the cold. They can actually move through blizzards without freezing to death. Although, unfortunately, we're not playing on a winter map with winter graphics, so unfortunately, that's not really something we're gonna experience. MD42 opening fire here, so these Fontaviki are not gonna get far. Ooh, Kampfkraft Center. So Muro might actually use the Kampfkraft Center in the future here. We also have a Pack 40 coming up here for the Wehrmacht. Deal with any Soviet vehicles that might show up. Which is sitting up here. Oh, that's 3 MT42s. Lots of MT42s here, I like it. The MT42 is a very important weapon in the German arsenal. And they already hear the smoke shells, they're already evacuating. Urus has very good situational awareness here, it looks like. Now the Germans could secure the fuel here. Good of the Iberians moving up, but they don't know there's an MT-42 yet, I think. Lots of Soviets pushing up here now. We do have a command Lux on the fields. The Iberians have not been spotted by the MG. Command Lux is going to be very hard for the Soviets to deal with unless they can lure it into the AT gun. 24-2 is able to shoot it towards the Siberians, but the Siberians are hitting the dirt, which means they cannot be suppressed. They can actually stay there behind cover and fight off with a machine gun if they have the right weapons. We have some more Volksgunners trying to get close. They probably need to change target. But grenade does go off, so that's going to force the Siberians off. Second AT gun coming out. Looks like it's going to be assist-free this time. So it's overrunning the northern positions. But there is one MG-42 covering the fuel here. It's going to allow them to keep the fuel. And we also have the Panther II moving around somewhere. So we have support weapon teams upgrades coming out here for the Kampfkraft Center. That means all the MG-42s are going to get a veterancy for free. That is one of the powerful things about the Kampfkraft Center if used correctly. You can really level up your vehicles. Oh, AT gun might be able to get a shot here. Ooh, Lux manages to back off though. MG-42s are keeping an eye on the front line. That smoke is going to clear soon, and that might be yeah, that's going to be a dead conscript unless they retreat immediately. Like that, good to see. MG-42 is dangerous. Lux is going to get some shots here in the Fontoviki. There's also an MG-42 here as well as some more Volksgrenadier. Smoking on the center point. We do have the SIS-3 coming up. Volksgrenadiers get suppressed by the Maxim inside the building. Just gonna take some shots. Lux manages to back off safely. We have MG-42s now handed out to the Grenadier. That's going to be a lot of fire coming their way if they stay. And indeed they're falling back after capturing it. Minimize casualties, they only lose one guy. The Iberians are trying to move up down here. MG-42's not prepared. He has to make a run for it. Looks like the MG-42 team manages to get away by only losing one guy.
Attempting to steal our sector.
You have some MP-40 armed Volksgrenadiers coming to the southern flank to supplement. Lux is getting shots in, but there's an AT gun nearby. Looks like the Lux manages to get out of range again. MG-42 moving up. Once the two start aiming though, so the MG-42 can basically set up safely at that range. More smoke shells. Very good play there from the Soviets. Always trying to keep the MG-42s unable to see their targets. Panzer's getting close here. Throwing a Molotov inside the building.
Range artillery is at your command.
The Iberians might be in a bad position if the Germans keep coming this way. This guy has to pull back there. Oh yeah, command tank can actually capture points, by the way. If you're wondering. So that's going to be a very useful thing for the Germans on the northern flank. The Iberians having a long-range firefight here alongside their conscripts allies. Their best against the Germans here. And actually doing pretty well. Then against the Iberians are really good infantry. Iberians are really good at long-range combat. Actually equipped with a scope PTRS and a scope SVT if they want. Or some PPS-43s. Oh, they also lost their cover there. That's not bad. Well, that's not good, I mean. The Germans hold both fuel, which is a problem, especially if the German is playing as Panzer. You don't want double fuel income for a Panzer division. That's going to mean a lot of potential Panzers soon, and they are indeed tagging up. Even getting the third upgrade for their support teams already. That means all the PACs and MG-42s and Pioneers are going to be veterancy free at a base. But when they get any new ones as replacements, they already got to be really good at their job. Can even just upgrade the MG42s with the scopes as a base upgrade now because of how high veterancy they have. And that scope should not be underestimated. It can really make the MG42 lethal. Like having the ability to just be more accurate with a machine gun like the MG42 is absolutely ridiculous. It'll shred through certain units. Mines being laid down here by the Germans, good to see. Service have gotten a second mortar, evidently. That's a satchel charge. That's a building on fire, but only one grenadier dies, luckily. Lucky for them. Grenade coming out their way. I think the grenadiers need to get out of there. And they got suppressed. Smoke grenade. But it's not gonna save them, I think. Yeah, that's a dead grenadier. I think Mthis should probably try and invest in some Panzer Grenadiers at this point. Either the Großdeutschland or the 15th. Because I think they need to get some kind of a Grenadier squad, or Infantry squad out. The PTS outranges the MT-42? I did not know that. I suppose it does make sense. It's a pretty big rifle. Soviets are pushing again with their conscripts. We also have a Soviet officer called onto the field. The lieutenant. Post grenadier pushing up here, throwing a grenade into the smoke. They know if Fontovicki is coming. But Fontovicki is going to throw a grenade or something, I think. Oh, good grenade right in front of the Volks Grenadier. Are doing good for the Germans on the northern flank here. The Soviets are being very overwhelming in their presence. The command tank is still holding them at bay. Need to wait for the smoke to clear. The Germans are taking up to get Panzers. Panzers have been somewhat delayed by looks of it. Where's the Pioneers? Oh, they don't have... Oh, there they have a Pioneer. It's inside something. That's where they are. Should probably get them out and back to base so they can build the Panzer building. They're gonna lay a Tellermine first. Meanwhile, the Siberians are spotting that with their scope PTRS. Now taking already taking shots. The mine got cancelled because of that. Lots of mortar shells landing. The Soviets are taking more ground. We got the Großdeutschland Division called in, a unique Panzer Grenadier unit available to Panzer Division. Serves as an elite recon team. You can only have one of them in the field at a time, though. And we equipped with a lot of interesting equipment for most tasks. They're a unique division because I believe they were recruited from all over Germany. Oh, that's going to be an AT grade. Oh, and that's the command looks down. Yeah, the Großdeutschland was recruited all over Germany rather than from a specific portion of it. That makes them stand out a little bit in that aspect. But there's just a lot of MG42s all of a sudden. I don't think the Soviets have what it takes to stop this counter-assault, for now anyway. Post Grenadiers are quickly rushing up with MP40s to secure territory. Maxim is in the church though.
We are losing territory.
Molotov going out here from the tank hunters. MP42 setting up. Smoke going in on the church. The knights firing away. And two machine guns just supporting it like this. Great also inside the church. Well, that's going to be followed by Gebaldeladnung. Oh, and that Maxim is basically dead. It's gone. We also have commands took on the field now to replace the command Lux, I guess. Großdeutschland pushing up rapidly here, but there's a lot of Soviets behind it. Großdeutschland are very expensive, you don't want to lose them like that. Oh, AT gun crew cleared. That's a pretty big issue there for the Soviets. Before just trying to stop the Soviets from grabbing the AT gun again. Ooh, and the Stuk is aiming for the AT gun. Misses. Man, that veteran MG42 is shredding them. I think this happens entirely. AT gun is out. MG42 has to fall back. But that was actually a good play from the Germans right there. Managed to get out of that situation pretty handily. Just as the smoke shells start landing. And the Lieutenant is now outside his Lux, because the Lux got destroyed obviously, but it looks like he's going to remain on the field. Not get withdrawn. And, well, actually this is not a command vehicle, this is actually an observation vehicle. Beobachtungspanzerwagen. So this is like meant to coordinate artillery. It's kind kind of the whole idea, I believe. I guess it also just serves as a command vehicle because of all the radios inside. But the soldiers are keeping an eye on this fuel. Just taking a shot this off the church. MT-42s are doing their best here. Honestly, with all these MT-42s, I think if they have these spare munitions, they don't really have at the moment, they should invest in the scopes. It really make the MT-42 a lot more lethal. I mean, how veteran the squads are at the base. Like, these are some exceptionally powerful MT-42 teams. Because how much more accurate they're gonna be with each shot.
Our soldiers are trained to advance rapidly.
And they do a lot of work. If they can get to Red 65, they're gonna become very, very good. Stuk is moving up again. Maxim is inside the church again, so that's a new Maxim. But I think the MT-42 is gonna win that duel because of the veterancy. Like, don't underestimate the advantages veterancy gives. So the Kampfkraft Center can really be important for a German army. Let's see, MP-40 armed Volksgunners are fighting with the conscripts and the lieutenant, but they're not gonna win that engagement. Ooh, and Volksgunners goes down there. The Germans are suffering infantry losses. I think they need to invest in some Panzergrenadiers. Yeah, we are seeing scopes now being equipped for the MG-42s. Gonna make them so much more lethal. But both fuel points are now in the hands of the Soviet Union. Let's see. Soviets are preparing for another push. Germans are stuck in with the MG-42s. Such a beautiful machine gun. The German machine guns were just so well done. I think, as I mentioned before, that's probably why the design is still so widely used today. Just a very good concept for a machine gun. It's a lot of Russians. But the MG-42 is opening up. Ooh, the cover is basically gone now. That's not good for it. They're gonna take out the 80 gun though. That's gonna allow the Stuk to move up. Heine's gonna get mowed down here. You have an SU. That's gonna be an SU 100. Okay, I think Mthis is calling in the big gun to counter any potential panzers that might come in. And I think Muru's skipping one tier. I think Muru's skipping one tier and going straight for heavy panzers. Which I think it's just going to be to the SU-100's advantage. I think an SU-100 would just kill anything anyway. Until we're going in around the church. Doesn't look like any shell hits the church though, just beyond it. But the MT-42s are definitely working. So much MT-42 fire. We do see some 15 Panzergrenadiers coming out. The basic Panzergrenadier unit available to Wehrmacht Panzer. And beyond which Sturmgewehrs and MG-34s and lots of other equipment, so... Overall, just a good squad, I think. Sometimes very underappreciated, but they don't have Panzerfaust, which is probably why they're underappreciated. They only have the Panzerknacker. Volksgunners is falling back here behind the sandbags, but they have grabbed the field there, and this MG-42 is gonna grab this one unless the Soviets can get close. Mthis are gonna try. But the MG-42 rips into them. This veteran team is just doing a lot of work. Like, these veteran MG-42s have been so lethal. Like, veterancy is very important for the Germans, so if you... I don't know why people don't really get the Kampfkraft Center, because it's so potent. It's such a potent ability to have. Although it's not been done any upgrades for the infantry or panzers yet, just support teams. So we're gonna have MP-40s on the cheap handed out to the Panzergrenadiers, which is one of their things. The MP-40s only cost 20 munitions for 2 of them if you're playing as Panzer.
Our renovated
I think it's cheaper. Yeah, it's 10 munitions cheaper than the one for the Volksgrenadiers, so... If you want some cheap weapons for the Panzergrenadiers, definitely get the MP40s. Gonna help in most small range engagements. Can also be equipped with Sturmgewehrs on top of that, or the MP44, or even a Flammenwerfer. Depends on what you want for them. The Flammenwerfer does require veterancy. Same with the Panzerschreck.
The squad of pioneers has arrived.
The Surge is still holding on there around the Fort HQ. Liberians down inside this building on Overwatch. Is a job they're good at. These Volksgrenadiers having a hard time. Artillery going in. Oh, we have Panzergrenadiers on the flank here, throwing a Great Assault on that officer. Killing the officer, actually. Great Assault in return for the conscripts, but the Panzergrenadiers just moved back behind the heavy rocks there. Of course, they just decided to fall back entirely. Big barrage there didn't do anything. And for to maintain their view of the battlefield, we have the SU-100 now. And destroy most German tanks with ease, including even the Panther. Thanks to this 100mm gun. But it's a pretty good Soviet tank destroyer right there. Like a lieutenant has been called in as a replacement. The previous lieutenant. And Germans are going straight for Panzerhalle. They're skipping tier 3 entirely. So it's going to be tier 4 for heavy panzers. Potentially Panthers or the King Tiger. 42's doing their work again. But that is a very veteran Frontoviki inside the church. Armed with PPSHs with drum magazine, which is actually a unique weapon upgrade for the Frontoviki if you're playing as a tank destroyer. But I don't think the conscripts won that fight. Blink call, by the way. But those Panzergrenadiers need to fall back and heal. And that church is still holding on. More smoke shells going in. The Germans are trying to dig in. But here comes the Soviets, big infantry push. I think even the officer called the forced march. Great Assault in the way. Oh, the Volksgrenadiers get an impact grenade if you're playing as Panzer. That's a really handy upgrade, actually. They have to pull back here. The sandbags didn't even get completely done. Ostdeutschland is still trying to hold on with the MT-42. And their Sturmgewehr, Gewehr 43s. So they're going in around the church, it still stands. Especially just the Gewehr 43, which has the ability to use the Sturmgewehr magazines. They have like 30 rounds instead of 10 rounds, which I suppose can be handy. No Panzers yet for the Germans, but they could get a Panther, and they indeed are going for the Panther G. Which is a good choice, I think, but the Soviets just have that SU-100 waiting. Just waiting for a chance to be used. That's a Gewaltladung, which I'm not sure why they're throwing that. I think they thought the Soviets were charging through the smoke. No, they cancelled the Panther. And we're gonna see the King Tiger instead. Okay. So, Germans are calling it the heaviest tank they have. This could be interesting. The issue is the Soviets do have one of the few commanders that can go toe-to-toe with it if they get the ISUs. Well, not be toe-to-toe, but kill it at long range, right? That's the proper way of saying it. And we are seeing an SU coming out. SU-152. A very big assault gun. This is not the tank destroyer version, though. This is the howitzer version, so it's better for dealing with infantry in fortified positions. So the King Tiger might have a little bit easier against that. If they went for the ISU-152, I believe that's the one that's a tank destroyer. Orions. I'm not sure. I suppose we'll see when it gets in. One of them can like switch between high explosives and armor piercing. And we'll have to see. Ooh, Panzergrenadiers are in a very bad spot here, but they do have those Volksgrenadiers for support. They're getting a lot of good shots in thanks to all this automatic fire from the MP40s. Have any counter center veterans done? Not for anything else but support weaponry. Ooh, Warstoyson has to pull back. They're gonna die. Looks like they're gonna make it. But the MP40 is actually working out pretty well for the Germans here. Like, as I said, don't underestimate the humble MP40. Generally, most submachine guns are actually pretty competent at range, as you can see. An MG4 has to turn. I don't think the Soviets have time to turn around though. Or at least charge it. I guess I'm gonna grab the MG42. There we go. Huh. Let's see, the Soviets almost have the issue 152 and the King Tiger is almost on the battlefield. We are seeing a Panzer veterancy upgrade now, so they want to get this King Tiger very good at its veterancy, which is going to make it even more lethal. Smoke going out here to cover the center. And is this... I believe this is the high explosive only version. It does have the ability to fire concrete piercing round. So I think this is the one that's not good against tanks. Well, it's still decent, but it's not going to do much against the King Tiger. But unlike the SU-100 thing, I think will. Until they've been calling here by the Duke. You can just hear the engine. Such a loud engine. The ISU is coming up. Let's see, we're gonna have a little bit of an engagement here, I think. I guess mass anti-tank raids could also work against the King Tiger, depending on how they want to engage. Looks like we have the heavy assault gun moving up now. It's gonna be high explosive. Yep. But now the King Tiger reveals itself. It also got penetrated by a pack. SU-100 is turning around. It's an ambush. Gonna get a shot at this King Tiger. Doesn't penetrate. Now the King Tiger knows the SU-100 is there. They must lose quite a few infantry to that SU-152 though. She would expect. More satchel charges have been upgraded here. They're gonna try and clear out more of the wall. Open more avenues of fire. And that'll do. Interesting, we're even getting the unique grenade upgrade for them. Instant grenade is actually not bad for Volksgrenades when I think about it. Only for 5 munitions too. That's a pretty damn good upgrade for them actually. Huh. Will they use it here? Oh, they're not, there we go. They're throwing it. But I'm also in return. They did not do much there, unfortunately. These conscripts do have Strom magazine PPSA just due to their veterancy. Oh, SU-152 got taken out by the King Tiger and the pack.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
I think the King Tiger should just get some infantry support and then try and push up and deal with that SU-100. Although it's wasting its shots on infantry. There's a Soviet recon team. Oh, that SU-100 might be in trouble. Oh. No penetration. I think that's the... Oh, that was a waste of opportunity to move forwards. Panzer just moving around. King Tiger's moving forwards. It's on the hunt. Ooh, and the Sabines getting good flanking shots on the Panzer Grenadiers. Lane Corps on the way. Now the problem is if that SU-100 penetrates the King Tiger is practically dead. Valentine coming onto the field. Ooh, that should be fascinating. Yeah, it's still trying to hunt down that SU-100. I just have to fall back there. Rogue shields keep landing around, it's very good to see. Artillery shields going in here. Recon team that die.
Squad of infantry has been killed.
We also have the Valentine now in the field, second recon team being called in. Here's the small Valentine tank. Because most of the fighting has been concentrated up here. There's been no pushing for the southern point for a while. Just an MG42 sitting and holding it.
Tank destroyer here.
MG42 is going to be able to stop these conscripts, I think. Once it's ready to fire, there we go. And that's a dead conscript squad, because that's a veterancy 5 MG42 with scope. With targeting optics, so that's a scope, yeah. That is absolutely dangerous for an MG42 in the building. It's going to be able to mow down so many units so quickly. Hag is trying to push him a little bit too far here, I think. But manages to pull back. But the Kankras Center is definitely working out for the Germans, I think. Yeah, they already have double veterans in the King Tiger. They get a little bit more manpower, they can get the third veterancy. That's gonna make the King Tiger a lot more dangerous. Sounds awkward because it already is dangerous. I do like all the smoke. That's not smoke shields this time, but I do like all the mortars being used here by Stockholm Molotov. Valentine's just waiting around here. And if you're 4 being upgraded on the Panzer Grenadier. Ooh, the command suit is going for the AC-100. Gets 1 penetration. But AC-100 gets it in 1 shot. But the King Tiger's not advancing. Takes out the truck. We don't have enough munitions for high explosive shell. And the SU is providing a good bit of cover with its wreck. The artillery is being called in here by the Hauptmann, actually, never mind. But he might get shot up once the infantry get inside the church. Oh, they're targeting the wrong unit. There you go, artillery is going to be going in around the HQ. Hauptmann does go down. Ooh, and the artillery shells are basically taking out the turrets there. The structure's still up though, and not on fire. King Tiger's preparing to lead the way now. And MG42 is doing a lot of work here. That is one durable church. Yeah, that church is blessed by God. I was about to say. Because that church is just holding on. Now they're just shooting at it with their pack gun. Yes, indeed, one durable church. More smoke shields going out. Oh, Valentine on the flank with breakthrough tactics being utilized. They can actually cap the territory.
Fresh conscripts
The cheeky little Valentine. We do have some cool stories nearby with Panzerfausts. Cheeky little Valentine. Going to move around the flank now. Valentine just backing off and taking another point. Such a neat little vehicle. And the Sav is going to move up there because of a veteran MG42. This one does not have scopes though. And it's not really in cover either. But Sav still gets suppressed. Valentine being spotted down here. It's just Sappers with an MG42, which is not going to do much to a Valentine. High explosive loaded. Bullstarter is going for it though. They were just a distraction. Valentine should not get too close though. Pacifier was loaded. And that's it, Valentine. Command Panzer 4H coming onto the field. Have to fall back at that. The Bullstarter is just getting very good shots in with their Sturmgewehrs. Well, Gewehr 43 with Sturmgewehr magazines. D43 Sturmgewehr is such an awkward little naming convention right there. Here's the Panzer Grenadiers, which might get overrun here. They are not in position. And they might be dead. Yeah, most assuredly dead. There we go. They do throw a blink couple before dying. King Tiger's ready to move again.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Be cautious, the SU-100 is still around. Oh, the Soviets actually killing off the Großdeutschland here. It's not looking good for Muro suddenly. They cannot grab the Panzer, they don't have any free weapon slots. And the Siberians are slowly killing them at range. That's actually a veterancy 5 Siberian squad. That's got it. They are absolutely ridiculous with their accuracy. It's not looking good for the Panzer division here, and they are also having less, more upkeep because they're using a heavy tank. And the King Tiger takes up a lot of upkeep in your manpower and everything, as you can see. So despite having more units, the Soviets are still getting more resources. Oh, long range shot on the SU-100. So that King Tiger can now start moving up freely, I think. He just needs some support. The ND-42 start covering its flanks. It's quickly trying to get into position. We also just have more Soviets. They might try to overrun the Tiger. But these ND-42s are going to make that very, very difficult. Explosive loaded. That's a dead AT gun. There'll still be recruits. Smoke shells landing around it. ND-42 changes target. Oh, it has to reload. It allows the conscripts to throw grenades. Almost killing it. They do. Conscripts do die though. Oh, the Soviets are definitely in a little bit of a trouble here. Once that smoke clears, that King Tiger can start opening fire again. Tank guns trying to get closer. The MG4 just to move. As the smoke is clearing. But it has cleared at this point. Bush doesn't have to pull back. There's just a lack of infantry on the German side at the moment. I think in some double 15 Panzer Grenadiers to work alongside the King Tiger might not be bad. And indeed we're seeing another 15th called in. Actually, got cancelled. Probably they're going for a Panther instead if they can hold on. But I feel like they're just lacking in infantry at the moment. Command H lost its turret traversal. That's not too bad. They can back off safely.
We are losing a sector.
Oh, but Blitz coming out instead, actually. Oh, to service a repair station because there's no pioneers. King Tiger still pushing up. Small AT gun is going to take a shot soon. Doesn't penetrate. King Tiger is going to make a go for it. It does have some MT-42s coming up to support its flanks. MT-42s are going to sit up, but they have no cover out here. Explosive loaded out takes out one of the AT guns. They have to reload. There we go, they're firing again. And now the MT-42s rip into the Soviets. Artillery is coming in though. Being called in by the lieutenant, so it's not the biggest shells, but it's gonna do something. Another SU-100 being prepared. I do feel like the Soviets need something that can try and deal with this King Tiger, because the King Tiger currently is basically unkillable, I think. There's a veterancy 3 King Tiger now, so it's even worse. Well, probably even better is what I should say. Even worse for the Soviets. Russians are pushing up again. But the Germans do still lack infantry. I do think getting 2 of the 15 Panzer Grenadiers might help supplement a lot, but I don't think we're gonna see it. Russians are doing a pretty good job though. Yes, they can anyway, but they are taking some hits still.
Panzer IV command tanks can now be deployed.
But Germans still hold a majority of the points, so they are getting a lot more... They're technically getting more resources than the Soviets, just not in manpower. Just to remember, as I said, heavy vehicles do take up upkeep, and the King Tiger eats a really big load of your manpower income. Instinct grenade going out there. Doesn't do too much. Panzerfaust on the Panzer 4H command tank, and it's gone. Hauptmann jumping out. Actually, that's a Major. Never mind. Major has to fall back. And we also have the SU-100 now in the field here. Hopefully it'll be able to do something against the King Tiger, not just die like the previous one. Indeed, we are going to see a Panther G come out. Pretty good match here. So he's still trying to do their best with the infantry, but it's just... I think this King Tiger and the machine guns just being too much. Oh, the Fontoviki getting close, but... MD4 to change target. But they managed to get the grenade off and get back to safety. And MD4 just has to retreat. Oh, SU-100 got a penetration on the King Tiger. That might be a problem there for the King Tiger now. No penetration on the second shot. The King Tiger can back off safely this time. And we do have another Panther arriving here soon. These MT-42s are just doing a lot of work. They've gotten a lot of kills. Like one of them has 81 kills. That's a lot of dead infantrymen. Officer flanking here. MT-4 start turn right.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And the Soviets are pushing up some conscripts here. Throwing a Molotov. That was the die there. And that might be a dead MT-42. Yeah, that's one MT-42 entirely gone. Panther is arriving on the field, arriving as Veterans 2, thanks to the Kampfkraft Center. Like, this is the part of the Kampfkraft Center. It's really potent if you utilize it correctly. You just need to also be able to conserve your units, which is not always easy in a 1v1. Looks like Muru did manage it for a while. I think the Soviets are in somewhat of a bad position still. The church is still alive, though. Panther's rushing in. SU-100 is ready. Doesn't penetrate. Gets penetrated by the Panther. Which might be dead because I think the Panther fires faster than the SU-100 does. Yep. At this point, Dr. Mulvey surrenders. The Germans win this one. This was quite an interesting battle, and I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you next one, everyone. Bye-bye.